to another video. So today's video, we've recently just got our hands on the Black Ops 6 beta, and I just thought I would talk a couple of minutes, just obviously in regards to like how it was and obviously what it's like so far. It is just a beta, and obviously things could change as we go on. I mean, the positives that I've seen, there are a lot of good changes. You know what I mean? Like Jay got did a video where he lists them all, and some of the changes are fantastic. Things like the camo grind is no longer going to be tied to the individual guns level, so you can just crack on and do all of the camos. That's going to be fantastic when we do our 24-hour stream on the day of launch. I'm loving that idea. There's a load of other little bits and pieces, like the ability to combine different perks and attachments. Like there'll be something where you can put 8 attachments onto a gun, which might then push that gun into the meta. It might not. We'll have to see how those kind of things go on. There's ways to be able to combine perks, but how those perks then come across in a Warzone is going to be interesting, whether they completely relegate all of the existing perks and only have the perks that we have now, or if we're not going to get the perks in, or they're going to be different. We'll have to see how the integration really does go. But so far in multiplayer, it doesn't seem interesting. If you put the 3 of the same color on, you get like a weird kind of fourth over like ultimate perk, which is pretty cool. The actual gameplay itself is quite smooth. For a beta, there's been a few betas in the past which have been a bit clunky and stuff like that. The actual gunplay and everything like that is very good as well. Like the guns actually feel like you're actually using a gun. The gunsmith seems quite cool. It's quite like, you know what I mean, it's quite a nice little feature. There is an attachment that I think is going to be mandatory on all guns, and I'm making that claim now. There's a rapid fire perk is one of the mods. So I think that's personally going to be what everyone's going to have to run, because that's going to push, you know what I mean, your ability to kill people a lot quicker. Now, saying all this, there are some issues, and obviously it's one that a lot of people are talking about is like the movement tech and everything like that. Now, personally, I find that I'm not sold yet on the Omni movement. Now, Jacob made a point in one of his videos, in his recent videos, where he talks about how everyone made the same claim about Modern Warfare 2019's movement when it first came out in the beta, and it then became the staple and the like, you know what I mean, the one that everyone wanted. At the moment, what I've been doing is I've been comparing this to the last couple of CODs and how I view them. Personally, I think this Omni movement is taking the focus away from sliding to diving again. And I think diving is going to be the new tech that everyone kind of does. And kind of, especially with the fact that aim assist is being nerfed and has, from what I can see, been nerfed quite strongly. That might come back, might be changed as well as we go down the line. It may come back and be tweaked. But at the moment, aim assist is quite nerfed to the point of where even I'm thinking about going back to mouse and keyboard, because you know what I mean, that it may be more beneficial beyond there. But diving and things like that, it seems to be like the new tech with the new ability to go prone and like stay prone mechanic. So I have a feeling that that's going to be where the game goes, where it's going to move more away from the sliding and back into the the diving. Now that kind of movement tech is what we had in Warzone 2. Okay, now Warzone 2 took away slide cancelling, took away a lot of the cancel actually, the animation cancelling, sorry, and moved towards like more of a slower down system. Now, don't get me wrong, Black Ops still has the movement. You can still move quite fast. The sliding is still really smooth and everything like that. But because that movement's going to be more towards the diving, I just feel that it's moving back towards like Warzone 2, the original Warzone 2's kind of movement style, and that got relegated for a reason. Nobody enjoyed it, you know what I mean? It got moved back. So let's Treyarch are trying to find a way to combine the two, you know what I mean, what we had in Warzone 1 to what we had in Warzone 2, and trying to make it better. I don't know. But I just think it's weird that we've gone through a cycle where they tried doing a different movement system. It failed. We had to then have another game made in such a short time scale to correct those mistakes. And we spent a year basically playing a game that was just a corrected version of Warzone 2, which was basically just Warzone 1 with a DLC. And I think it's weird that they've now tried to do exactly the same thing, which is trying to fundamentally change the game again. And I think, I don't know, personally, I'm not sold yet. I think you need to get a lot more hands-on, see how it's going to work in Warzone. But my biggest fear is that the prone mechanic is going to be abused to high heavens. I can just see people holding really bad angles, you know what I mean? Like lying down at the entrance of doorways, lying down in a corner, lying down on head glitches, lying down underneath cars and things like that. Now, I know it's also been made a point of when someone does actually lie down, lie down backwards, like when you jump back, it does actually look like you are prone. So you've been knocked down. So it looks like you're in last stand. So that could be an issue where people get baited into believing that people are in last stands, you know what I mean? Me personally, I don't know, like, that mechanic they tried to bring in that mechanic in Warzone 2, and it just didn't fit, you know what I mean, and quickly got took back out, if I remember correctly. But it was Warzone 1, sorry, I think it was, that it was like, it was in the multiplayer but wasn't in Warzone, and I just don't feel like it has a part to play in the game. I think there's a lot of other areas that need to be have attention put onto them, such as like the cheese builds, you know what I mean? Like, we've not seen anything yet of how underwater combat will work. I don't like the fact that you're going to have a permanent melee weapon on you. There's like, I've seen that you can dolphin dive out of water, which seems really, really iffy. Nothing's been said about any changes to like things like the riot shield or anything, which is one of the worst playstyles I think that's ever been created. But yeah, I'm very optimistic for the game. I'm very actually excited to play the game. I had a lot of fun on the beta, and once I got just into the mood, I was in it. You know what I mean? I can't wait until hardcore comes out, because that's my jam. I love hardcore. I just play hardcore all the time. Things like Ground Wall will be really cool if it comes out to it, like the bigger maps, you know what I mean? I think all of those kinds of things will be really cool. Zombies, from what I've seen, the little I've watched of it, I think is going to be absolutely fantastic. And overall, I think it's going to be a very solid Treyarch game. But the issues that I've raised, obviously, about Omni movement and stuff like that, and about how they're trying to almost, as it were, redesign the game. I get that that's what every development company is going to try and do, because they have to try and further the game along to keep people entertained and interested and stuff like that. But I feel like there's ways that they could be done without trying to completely fundamentally change the basics of the game. There's a lot of other things that could have been done. You mean the backpack system was fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, they've removed the backpack system, so we're now just going back to having like one of everything. You know what I mean? You can pick up a satchel, which gives you more plates. You can pick up an ammo satchel, which gives you more ammo. Like, they're fantastic little changes, and that could have been what they did instead of trying to go out of their way to create this omni movement system, and trying to fundamentally change the game. But I honestly believe that this is one of the issues that Call of Duty has as a franchise, is that they have two majorly different companies creating their COD games, and it's seen as one franchise, but the games themselves are completely fundamentally different. Treyarch want to make the games that they are known for, and every other company wants to make the Modern Warfare, you know what I mean, games that they're known for. And I think the two of them are just kind of, they don't mesh well together. Treyarch's a lot more about the arcadey style, you know what I mean, of like multiplayer and stuff like that. Modern Warfare is more about realism and realistic kind of gunplay and stuff like that. Within reason, you're never going to get a true realism game, you know what I mean, or at least it will not work, because like Modern Warfare 2 didn't, you know what I mean, Warzone 2. So I think overall, I mean, I'm excited for the game. I'm just a bit cautious. Omni movement, if anyone says it's going to be the game changer, I don't think it's going to be correct. If it is, it's going to be in a bad way, in my opinion. I think there's going to be a lot of things that are going to get taken back. I think there's a lot of things that still haven't yet been spoke about of how they're going to integrate. Because I know like things like COD Next, a lot of the talk was just about multiplayer and about zombies. There wasn't really a lot spoke about Warzone. I know I've seen the new map, Type 99. It looks all right. I think the fact that, from what I've seen, we're losing Fortune's Keep for it, I think that's a wrong move. I think if for the size of the map, if you're going to relegate any map, it should have been Rebirth, but they won't, because that's a Treyarch map, you know what I mean, fundamentally comes from Treyarch. So I don't think they would ever get rid of Rebirth, but in my opinion, it worked well, the fact that we had, you know what I mean, the 3 different size maps when it came to Resurgence. I think not having a big mode map on launch is going to be a massive like downside as well. Yeah, I don't personally think that this is going to be like the resurgence of COD, if it makes sense, you know what I mean, like the regain. I think we're going to get our hands on it, and it's just going to be, it's not going to feel like it's the one. Now, from what I understand from the schedules and stuff like that, what they released a while ago, Treyarch are making next year's game as well. And from what I understand, or at least what I've taken away from it, that next year's game would be a complete wipe game, as in it would be its own Warzone. Or at least that's what I've took away from it based off the schedules that we've had up until now, you know what I mean, things like that. And if that's the case, then this could have been done next year. You know what I mean? Like these kinds of changes and stuff like that could have been done on its own Warzone, and it could have been the fundamental building blocks of that game, but it's not. They've done it now on the back end of Warzone 2, you know what I mean, on the back end of Modern Warfare 2's Warzone, on the back of Modern Warfare 3's Warzone. You know what I mean? I hope as well that they keep up to date with their updates and everything like that, and whenever we get a new season, that we don't just get one area focused on, because that's a big issue. Like, they only focus on Resurgence, or only focus on zombies, or only focus on big map. That's not going to work for moving forwards. If you want zombies to carry on doing well for the casuals and everyone else, then you need to carry on bringing out proper new content for them every season. Big map, you need to do the same. Resurgence, you need to do the same. Multiplayer, you need to do the same. Everywhere needs to get its own content. You can't just shortchange it because you've already made stuff for one place and you don't have time to make it elsewhere. That's unfortunately something they're gonna have to try and work on and try and get better at. Because I personally believe that was the downfall of DMZ and the downfall of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, was that there was not enough content. There was no new missions being released. There was no new stuff to do. There was just the same missions, and once you completed them, that was it. It was just running the same things until you got everything and collected everything. Oh, look, there's a new NPC boss to go and kill. Hooray. That's not enough to keep them entertained. But yeah, overall though, we'll see how it goes. These have just been a few of my rambled thoughts coming out, but I thought I'd put them down because, yeah, like, I think when Verdansk comes out next year, people are going to complain that it's not Verdansk because it doesn't play like Verdansk, because the game's going to be massively different from what it is. Think about if they had brought out Verdansk in Warzone 2 with that style of movement and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, the last year's been difficult with Modern Warfare 3. It's not been the best year for content. It's been quite slow. There's not really been many updates and things like that. But when you take into consideration that they had, in effect, 9 months or something like that to build a new game and to change a bunch of stuff, I think they did an amazing job. And I don't think they should be, like, you know what I mean, victimized, as it were, as a development company for the fact that the game wasn't necessarily that good. They had very little time to make it. But yeah. Apart from that though, if you have enjoyed the video, or if you agree with my points or disagree with my points, leave a comment telling me why you disagree, or if you do agree, if there's something else that you think I haven't said or I've missed, just leave all the comments below. But if you have enjoyed it, then remember to like the video, remember to subscribe, and I'll be back. But yes, as I said earlier as well, the very first day that the game comes out, so the 25th of October, we will be live from the moment that the game releases for 24 hours. I do it every single year, but this year, obviously, I'm just making a point of it in videos and stuff like that to try, you know what I mean, and see what we can get going. But we'll be going for 24 hours. We will play some zombies in there, but we'll be playing a lot of multiplayer, and our aim is to try and get as many levels as we can to try and get some guns gold, you know what I mean, camo grind, level grind, prestige grind. We're going to do it all. So, yeah, but I'll see you later in a bit. Bye. There we go. First game, first win. Nice. Not bad. Yeah. See, me personally, nice little quad feed there. Oh yeah, winner's circle. First game.